Shalom Israel first. I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Shai, B'Shem Kakodash, the one seek Pastor Ezra Millstone, peace citation to 1/3 of Israel. For this lesson, I want to title it Esau will feel it, or something like that. He will feel it. You know, you gotta speak in code and shit. But you know, basically I was just meditating about how, you know, it's impossible to live nowadays. You know, Esau is squeezing the whole world, you know, squeezing fucking the life out of everybody, you know. He's just being a demon, you know, which the Lord, you know, created him to be. But this devil, he's gonna get his just due reward here shortly, because he knows his time is up. He know he has a tab to pay. All right, but this is Isaiah 14 and 4. It says, "Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased." All right, now the golden city is Babylon. You know, America. This place is ceasing. You know, and you could just everyone could literally tell you this place is through. All right, except, you know, I'm gonna say those with, you know, some brain cells will tell you that this place is through. You know, people in the world, like nothing is the same like how it used to be, and you could just see this place is fumbling or crumbling. All right. It says the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. All right, so the Lord is cutting this place asunder. It says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. All right, sucker, hurry up. Fucking hate these. Just dealing with these people on a day-to-day, like, man, it's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna be around fucking heathens, bro. But this is the 5th verse. It says, how the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and unhindered. All right. So he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, that's Esau Edom, you know. And this devil is reigning in extreme oppression, you know. Now he'll give you quote unquote certain liberties to make you think that you're not a slave, but you a slave. All right, everything you gotta pay for water, you gotta pay for food. You know, you can't have you're limited. You know, you got a birth certificate, all this shit. It all proves that you're a slave. All right, you working for fucking minimum wage. You barely getting by. You know, but yet this devil is increasing the prices on everything. All right, but this is part of his plans. You know, he's trying to. It's only gonna be rich and poor. You know, but and that's how you know we at the end. Because if this devil, if this devil were to continue, then no flesh would be saved, you know. But let me park right quick. But reading on down, it says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. All right, because when this devil goes down, that's when the whole earth is gonna rejoice. All right. Even the trees, as I'm about to read. It says, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars Lebanon sing, since thou art laid down, no fellows come up against us. All right, because the devil, he's a cancer, you know. He's a cancer to the earth, you know, cutting down trees, just polluting shit. All right, that's why the Lord said in Revelation 18 or 11 and 18, it says, and the Lord's going to destroy him that destroyed the earth. And who's that? Esau Edom, you know. And we right there. That's the most comforting part of this all. But, you know, it's just vexing, you know, because as the scriptures say, the souls of the righteous complain continually, you know. Like, if you in your right mind, then of course you're gonna see this shit and cry out. Like, this shit gotta end, all right. But, you know, it's beautiful because we're seeing World War III take place. World War III is brewing up, and this is we at the end of this devil's kingdom, all right. And true living is about to take place. And, you know, our hell is Esau's heaven. You know, this is Esau. This is Edomite paradise. You know, do as you will. You know, get rich. You know, this is their kingdom. But in our kingdom, it's gonna be y'all hell. All right, beginning with you top wicked, you know, banking families. All right. I'm gonna jump down to 10. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also becoming weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, talking about these Edomites. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? All right, and this Lucifer, you're talking about Esau, you know, because Lucifer just means light bearer. You know, he has the light on the left hand side. All right. But reading on down, it says, how art thou cast, Salakia? Yeah, which did weaken the nations. All right, this devil's been cancer. He's been an oppressor. He's weakened the whole earth. You know, he's been on top. But we coming to that point in time where he's about to fall. All right. It says, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit upon the mountain of the congregation in the sides of the north. All right. And that's what Esau did, you know. He, you know, showing himself that, you know, he ain't never going to get taken down. All right. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? All right. So this devil's the whole earth is going to see this devil for who he truly is. All right. Right now, you know, you got some people, well, majority of the world is waking up to him, but you got some people that are still caught on that still drunk off that juice, thinking that Esau is this great guy. Like, nah, this nigga ain't shit. All right. But you know, recompense is coming. You know, but you know, I parked at the crib. I don't want to make this too long though. But let me get this right quick. All right, this is Lazarus and the rich man. I'm reading this in NLT. All right, this is Luke 16 and 19. It says, Yahushua said, there was a certain rich man who was splendidly clothed in purple and fine linen, and who lived each day in luxury. At his gate lay a poor man named Lazarus, who was covered with sores. As Lazarus lay there longing for scraps from the rich man's table, the dogs would come and lick his open sores. So finally, the poor man, says finally the poor man died and was carried by the angels to sit beside Abraham at the heavenly banquet. The rich man also died and was buried, and he went to the place of the dead, there in torment. All right, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna read this else in KJV. Luke 16 and 19. It says, there was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. All right, so this is ultimately talking about Jake, you know, being Lazarus, the rich man being Esau, Edom, and the dogs licking the sores are the heathens, you know, because the heathens they profit off of Jake, you know. Look at the hoods, the ghettos. You know, these heathens come up, set up shop, you know, of shit. You know, smoke shops, liquor stores, shit that destroyed Jake, and they make a profit off of us. All right. It says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. All right. He said in afar off. All right, because these Edomites, they gonna be afar off. They gonna look at us and they gonna be mad as fuck. All right, Salaki for my vulgarity, but they gonna be mad because we gonna be living good. All right, It says, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. It says, but Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted and thou art tormented. All right, because, we catching hell right now, but guess what? Like I said, our hell is their heaven. All right, but our heaven is going to be their hell. All right, and trust and believe. When the Lord give us that power, when the Lord come back and we get you devils in chains, that's y'all ass. All right, because y'all been nothing but cancer, demons, unfair, unrighteous. All right, but guess what? We gonna man, it's gonna be divine ass whooping. All right, and it's gonna be beautiful, and that's the patience and the faith of the saints. Let's get that right quick. Revelation 13:9. It says, Revelation 13:9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. All right, and this is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the Lord to come back and give us power to rule over our enemies. Because we've been devoured, and now it's time for you heathens to be devoured. Beginning with Esau, Edom. All right. And, you read the NLT version, it's Esau, trying to mix with the translation. All right. Because he trying to escape judgment, but he can't. All right. Let's get that right quick since I quoted it. Jeremiah 30:16. This is Jeremiah 30:16. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. All right. It says, for I will restore health unto you. Bro, this should piss me off. It says, but I will restore health unto you, and heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they call thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. All right. It says, NOT says, I will give you back your health and heal your wounds, says the Lord, for you are called an outcast, Jerusalem, for whom no one cares. All right. But it's okay, though. Because the Lord cares. The Lord is building up his elect, raising up his elect, right now. And once the elect are sealed, it's a done deal. This place is through. It's already through. Look at things growing up. So, judgment is coming to you devils. And, just take it like a man. So, with that, I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh B'Shemel.